The plant pictured here is Juglans nigra, the black walnut. Juglans nigra gets 50 to 75 feet tall and has a rounded, oval-shaped canopy. Here you can see the bark. It's a dark brownish-black color with deep furrows. And here are the stems. So here you can see that the buds sit nestled into the V-shaped leaf scar. So again, somewhat similar to Carya illinoinensis, but typically that leaf scar is a deeper, sharper pointed V than what you find on Carya illinoinensis. In addition, you can see that the stem has raised lenticels on it. Another unique ID feature of Juglans nigra, if you're willing to put forth the trouble, is that it has what we call a chambered pith. If you cut a stem of Juglans nigra in half, you'll find this chambered section in the middle of it, and that's going to be different than Carya illinoinensis, which has a homogeneous pith. So it would just be solid, it wouldn't have those open spaces in it. Like Carya illinoinensis, Juglans nigra has alternate pinnately compound leaves. However, these leaves are longer than Carya illinoinensis. They're usually 1 to 2 feet long, and they're going to have more leaflets, 15 to 23 leaflets. Other than that, it is pretty similar. Juglans nigra leaflets do have serrate teeth on the margins, but they're not quite as prominent as what they are on Carya illinoinensis. And also, if you look at the leaflets of black walnut, you'll notice that the midveins and the leaflets themselves aren't really that falcate. You may find it in a few of them, but it's not anywhere as prominent as what you found on the pecan. These leaflets also tend to be more towards ovate than lanceolate, although you'll see leaflets of both shapes in this picture. And here you can see the underside of those leaflets. Now, Juglans nigra doesn't have the strong fall foliage color that Carya illinoinensis does. Just turns sort of a weak yellowy green, and then the leaves actually fall off quite early on Juglans nigra, so much earlier than a lot of other deciduous trees. Here you can see the male flowers beginning to form, and just like Carya illinoinensis, Juglans nigra is monoecious. These male flowers will expand to form green pendulous catkins just like you saw in Carya illinoinensis. The female flowers are just not very conspicuous and you're not going to see them very often. Now, of course, it's very easy to identify black walnut when it has fruit. It forms these very large green globose fruits that are several inches in diameter, and unlike pecans, these husks, this outer husk doesn't split on its own. You have to split it open yourself, whereas for pecans that husk naturally splits open to release the nut. Now, if you touch the black walnut at this stage, it's going to stain your hands pretty badly. It has a black dye in it that has actually been used in past times to dye things. My grandma actually used it to dye her hair. Now, once you remove the outer husk, you have this deeply wrinkled, dark brown and black nut. And then you have to break that open to get to the part of the walnut that you actually eat. Now, this is not the same as the walnut that you buy in stores. This is a different type of walnut, the black walnut, but it is still edible. So with that, we conclude our discussion of Juglans nigra, the black walnut.